Hey guys, Mega Yu-Gi-Oh! Maniac here. I'm just here to give you a deck run through of my new lightsworn deck. It's a very good deck. I find absolutely no problems with it. Uh, it's a fast and thorough deck. You'll generally be able to get a lot of monsters out very quickly. You'll generally have no problems with it. That's just lightsworn in general. My lightsworn deck is slightly unique because I went through it with a couple of friends of mine, and I did put in my own personal touches in it as well. And okay, let's just start things off. All right. First card we have is a Jane. Jane is kind of the beatdown element of this deck. It has a 2 milling cost. I have an Aaron. This has a 3 milling cost, plus it allows cards to be sent back to the top of your opponent's deck. This is Scarmark Ladybug. This is personally my touch because when it's sent to the graveyard you gain 1,000. That works well with the whole Judgment Dragon effect as well. This is also my very first card, so I wanted to include it anyway. Card Trooper to help with the milling. Effect Veiler, because it's Effect Veiler, you need one. Same goes for Gale. You can't really have a good kind of dark and light deck without Gale. Honest, because of the lightsworns as a booster. Arcus has kind of a defender against spells, traps, and effects. Even though I don't really tend to bring him out that much, I tend to use them as a milling fodder for my cards. Chaos Sorcerer, because of the dark and light element, I'm able to special summon them quite easily. I have 2 Raikos, so because of their effects, destroying a monster. Lumina, 2 Luminas, because that's what it states on the ban list. This is a very good card for getting out more Lightsworns. This is also a very, very good card for having milling effect. It's a 3 mill card as well. Necro Gardener as a kind of defense once milled. It protects you from being attacked. 2 Lilas as a way to destroy spell and trap cards, even though it does kind of it is kind of annoying that after it only is able to be put back into attack mode after 2 turns. 3 Raikos because they're kind of like the strength of the deck really, apart from the main cards. They're able to be special summoned and they've got quite high attack, so they're kind of the beatdown element of it. 2 Tragedies to kind of work with the darker side of the deck to be able to get out things like Chaos Sorcerer. But as well, they do have a good effect as well if I ever want to do like Exceed Summonings. Exceed Summonings is quite common in this deck as well. Of course, I've got a BLS, which is very important for any Lightsworn deck. Also, I've got a Gauze as protection, just more dark versus light fodder for like BLS, etc. And of course, I've got my 3 Judgment Dragons. Alright, that's my monsters. For my spell cards, I've got 2 monster reincarnations. This really helps with the whole getting cards once they're milled back into my hand, such as Judgment Dragon. I've got 3 solar recharges. These help with the speeding up of the milling process. This is Child Light Brigade. I only have 1 of these because that's what stays on ban list. It's a good searcher as well as a good miller, so of course that goes really well. I've got 1 Foolish Burial to try and get out Wolf really quickly. Of course I've got Dark Hole, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, 2 MSTs, 2 Gold Sarcophaguses. These are good search tools for getting out cards, and as well 2 pots of dualities. Pot Duality is, pretty much one of the best. As you can see, I love my Pot of Duality right here. Alright, and finally for trap cards, these are literally my only 2 trap cards because these are literally the only trap cards you need in this deck, because the protection for your cards in this deck is immense. You need the space for your Lightsworns to have enough fodder to go into the graveyard for like Judgment Dragon. Everything else is pretty much taken care of. You don't really need things like Sakuretsu Armor because when you do get attacked, you're able to counteract it with things like Raiko and other things. Generally, yeah. Okay, so this deck works really well. For those who don't know, the idea of this deck is to get as many cards into the graveyard as possible, so that you can make up the 4 lightsworn fodder for the Judgment Dragons, of course. And once you have 4 different lightsworns in your graveyard, you're able to special summon as many Judgment Dragons you have in your hand, and of course the Judgment Dragon's nuking effect is really key in this whole thing. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. Comment, rate, subscribe would be helpful. I don't really have any on this channel. There'll be a contest video coming up very shortly. You know, comment, subscribe again. It's always helpful. Know that you love, care, whatever. Alright, I'll see you later. Bye bye. Have fun.